What is going on, everybody? It's Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of Legion of Raw with my man, the bro, the Vince, the Rue, the Vince, the Russo, the bro, the Vince Russo, bro. How are you, my man?
I am doing good, Doctor. How are you, my friend?
Doing all right, man. It is the Raw after WrestleMania, and yeah, man. Are you excited about what you saw at the hypest supposed to be the hypest show of the year of Raw?
Oh,
What do you
Chris,
think, Vince?
I don't like to be Debbie Downer, but it was greatly a disappointment to me, bro. The only difference was, I'll tell you what the real difference was, and I don't know if people realized it or not. Is the brand split over? I mean, I don't know, bro. Are they coming out of WrestleMania with the brand split over? Because the only real difference about this show was there was a lot of SmackDown talents on this show. To me, that was really the only difference. You know, you had, we had people returning, but you got mid carders returning, bro. It's not like I hate to be Debbie Downer, bro, but I think it was very disappointing. And what was extremely disappointing to me, bro, that I do not understand. I don't know what goes through their minds, but they open up the show with Cody Rhodes, rightfully so. Cody Rhodes gives a very emotional, unscripted promo, which was very good. Okay, take nothing away from Cody. I enjoyed the promo. Cody gives good emotional promos, but he's talking about, his dad, Dusty beating Hogan, but it wasn't a pinfall, so Hogan got to keep the title. So as a little kid, he said, Dad, I'm going to win this. It was all about he came back to win the WWE title in memory of his dad. Okay, bro, beautiful, great promo, kudos. At the end of the night, you got the guy standing in the ring with both belts. Yep. Come on, bro. Seriously? And bro, I swear to God, as that segment's ending, I was live on Twitch and I'm like, bro, no way this is going to end with nothing happening. Absolutely positive, because bro, I thought there was going to be an overrun for sure, and I'm like, bro, no way that they are just not going to end this with a flat promo. And what did they do, bro? They ended it with that's the part, Chris, I don't understand. I don't understand it.
Yep, I agree with you, Vince. I was expecting something more, from the end of at the end, and we'll talk about that. But it was just, I was expecting something more. It just fell flat to me. It just really did. I was having a conversation with some good friends as they were tweeting me about it, and I was like, this is a far cry from the Raw after WrestleMania hype and anticipation of years past. It's just, it's sad because, again, we talked about before on one of our shows we have together. I've talked about stuff being on a platter, right? And you have the Raw after WrestleMania crowd hype. You have that on a platter. You have the Raw after WrestleMania handed to you because you have an ounce of casual fans coming back just because it's WrestleMania. And this is what you give them. Just and Chris, you give them Ezekiel.
Right. And Chris, let's not forget this. I hate to break the news to the people who watch tonight's show. Guys, this is the best it's going to be. You just saw the best it's going to be, because, guys, by next week, we're going to be right back into the old cookie cutter routine. Like I said, bro, I don't know if the brand split is over, so we may see some new faces. But as far as like the booking of the show, they're just going to fall right back, Chris, into that cookie cutter show. If tonight was any indication of what it's going to be, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, agreed. We talked about the Cody in-ring promo. He got interrupted by Seth Rollins. Rhodes extends his hand to shake Rollins' hand, and Rollins shakes it. So was that a tease for some continuity of promo of their angle, or the Rollins face turn?
This is the problem I have, Chris. You talked about continuity. You talk about things making sense. You talk about putting yourself in the shoes of of every performer. Now, we know for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, Seth Rollins wanted to get a spot in WrestleMania. Then we find out all he had to do was tell Vince McMahon. So he gets his spot at WrestleMania, doesn't know who his opponent is. And here comes, the top guy, the former top guy from the competition. Okay. And he beats Seth Rollins. That right there, bro, there was, and I don't want to get into this with WrestleMania, bro, but there were so many instances where the alleged top guys were getting beat by people in other companies, were getting beat by celebrities, were getting beat by a guy that hasn't wrestled in 20 years. Unbelievable to me. But the fact of the matter is, the former top guy of the other promotion shows up and beats you in front of 70,000 people, and you're happy and dancing and clowning the day after. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like that, it's so freaking ridiculous. Yeah, exactly, Chris. Exactly. So obviously, the message is Seth Rollins doesn't care if he wins or loses. I mean, that's the bottom line. He doesn't give one crap either way, as long as he can come out in his pink outfit and get his laughs in. Winning and losing means absolutely nothing to him, bro.
Yeah. And main eventers don't have that mindset.
Nope.
Period. They don't have the mindset.
Nope.
Speaking of Dusty wouldn't be like, oh man, I lost a match. Let's just come out and just, let bygones be bygones. It just, no.
Nobody. You could put anybody in that spot, bro. Savage. Can you imagine Randy Savage losing a big WrestleMania match to Steamboat and coming out the next day?
Ricky Steamboat. Let's let bygones be bygones. Yeah.
That's what and bro, like, I swear to God, this is a thing where I don't know if they're purposely doing it. Bro, remember last week's show? Here's what I said. I said, if Becky does the job, then you've got to ask you got to ask yourself the question, why did they cut Becky's hair? So, bro, again, I'm going to go back to the Stone Cold podcast where Becky said wrestling isn't the most important thing in her life anymore. What has happened since then, bro? Cut her hair, and now she's stripped of the title. Now she's not even on tonight's show. Well, I'm really starting to wonder, is Seth Rollins now lumped into that? Because, bro, last night was great for AEW. You had their former top guy walk in the door and beat one of the WWE top guys clean. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm doing freaking cartwheels. That's a great advertisement for AEW. But now I'm asking myself, so, bro, are they punishing Seth without him really realizing it and knowing what's going on? Because, like I said, bro, today, when he came out today, he could have cared less about losing that match last night.
Yeah. It definitely seems like he's getting heat because of Becky. It definitely seems like that's the case. It could be, if Becky's talking about being with her family, part of her family's Seth, and the baby.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So we get Naomi and Sasha Banks defeating Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. So there's a rumor going around. And real quick, my real quick thoughts on WrestleMania when it comes to Cody. Pop was good. It was cool. But I think the match length got buried. It buried the pop. I was so disappointed with the match length. Why would you come back, get this big old pop, and then drown the pop with the 25-minute match? It just and it was flat at times, and just you can't just drown the pop with some long, exhausting match in a crowd that's already like tired, by that point. So I mean, the match was decent. I mean, the match wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but it was just too long to me. The pacing of night one was just way too long. Night two had a much better pace than night one, and all these long matches to me, I was just like, see, that's the reason why I wanted one night. I like the 2 night stuff. I don't like.
I'm with you, bro. I agree.
Naomi and Sasha Banks defeating Rhea Ripley.
Oh, you were starting to say something, bro. You were starting to say there's a word going around. You were about to say something.
So going along with what I was about to say. So there's a rumor going around that Rhea Ripley is going to be joining Edge's stable. That's not, that's the discussion. So it looks like she is going to be turning heel. She set up the match.
I don't understand. Why do they keep burying her in tag teams? And now with this, gosh, am I missing something? I mean, I'm seeing a star. I'm seeing a freak of nature. Why they're doing it's the same cookie cutter thing with Liv that it was with the superhero. Now they're going to make now they're going to put her on this. Maybe I'm missing something, bro. Maybe they think she's not ready. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, if it is true, I mean, it's clear that Rhea's about to turn. Where does she go? On the turn. The rumor is Edge is stable, but it's clear that Rhea's going to turn on Liv Morgan. So why though? Even if she doesn't go into Edge's stable, why are you turning Rhea to beat up Liv Morgan? What does she get from Liv Morgan and feuding with Liv Morgan?
Well, and it's not only that, Chris. She was a heel.
Yes.
And they turned the baby face, and now we're turning her heel again. Like, holy crap. And then you talk about it all the time, Chris. Stop, start.
Exactly.
Gee whiz, man.
Exactly.
Like, really, bro?
I was having this conversation this past weekend as far as like there's certain wrestlers who are among the greatest of all time, and they didn't have a lot of start-stops, and their character was pretty ingrained as a particular side. It would have little bitty turns here and there, but it wouldn't last long. If you think of Flair, he had a few face turns, but he was a heel for a significant part of his career. Ted DiBiase, a heel for a significant part of his career. And I had to prove to someone recently about The Undertaker. The Undertaker, he came in 92. I mean, he came in 90, and by the time 92 happened, he did the thing. So Jake was a heel at the time, the whole "Do You Trust Me" thing. So from 92 to like he made the turn during the corporate ministry days, that was like 7 or 8 years, after, he stayed a babyface, and so that was a turn, but he ended up, coming back in 2000 was ABA Taker. And then, but still from then until now, he only turned heel with Big Evil. So like, in a matter of 30-year career, he had like 2 or 3 heel turns. And that goes to show the consistency of his character.
Chris, here's a perfect example. Let's look at Edge's stable. So Edge was, just for this stable now, Edge was a babyface. Now he's a heel.
Mm-hmm.
Damian Priest was a babyface. Now he's a heel.
Yep.
Rhea Ripley is a babyface. Now she's a heel. Bro, the idea is to do this the correct way. Let's look at the NWO model. Mm-hmm. You got Hall, you got Nash, who are already your heels.
Yep.
Now you recruit the baby face Hogan, bro. That was the ace. That's what the story should be. You already have established heels. What baby face is going to join this group that it's going to be a shocker? But no, everybody was a baby face. Now they're all heels just to be in this group.
Perfect example, Vince. If Vince would have kept doing start stops, it would have had a much less impact when he turned.
Yes, there's no levels to anything, Chris. There's nothing to think about. There are no levels, and every promo is the same. It's the heel promo on the crowd. You made me do it. I did this for you. You're the sheep. Come on, bro. Please get with the freaking times. Evolve a little bit, bro.
Yeah. Very true. Next, we get Kevin Owens cutting an in-ring promo, and he gets interrupted by Ezekiel and Vince Russo. So his gimmick now is that he is Elias's little brother. Please explain this to me, Vince.
Oh God, Chris, listen. There are certain things I can't say here because I don't want to get the talent in any hot water. Let me just put it that way. Yeah. The bottom line is they don't know how to do anything. They don't know how to do anything. The whole idea behind this, bro, should be, wait a minute. Is it, isn't it, is it, isn't it? And on day one, he should not come out and say, I am not Elias. I am Ezekiel. I am Elias. There should be a mystery. There should be a mystery where they think it's Elias. What's going on here, Elias? Why did you make this change? Where, and he doesn't comment. That's where they're missing it, bro. There has to be a reason and a story. And now we're hooked because now we're waiting to hear from him. What's going on? Is this Elias? What kind of a transformation? But no, the first minute, I'm Ezekiel. I'm lying. I'm Elias. And again, bro, I've got to ask myself the question. Was this by design so the crowd craps on it? Was this 1,000% by design? Because, bro, there is a right way to do something and there is a wrong way. This is the wrong way to do this, bro.
Yeah. I agree with you, Vince. Like, what reeks top star from the Elias or Ezekiel that we see now? Like, what is that even? Like, how does he looks like a very generic character right now.
I all I'm going to say is this. There was a very intricate story, and this was not it.
Yeah.
He's dead in the water, bro. He's dead in the water. This is not it.
The Death to Elias vignettes that we were seeing led to a barefaced, no beard. He had a really nice beard going on, nice hair, and this is what we get. And there were even talks of like him doing a Savage style, character, since there was some resemblance there. I would have rather saw that than Ezekiel. Like I don't get where they're going with this defense.
Well, they're not going anywhere. This is already dead in the water, bro. And I'd say in about I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say in about 2 months, you're not going to see him on TV anymore again. I'm going to say that.
Sheesh. Unfortunately, I can see that. So it's funny because, I'm a college basketball mark. And the national championship game is on right now. And there's 38 and a half seconds left. And Kansas is up by 1 point. And they have the ball right now. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm a huge Duke fan, as you know.
Yeah.
And Carolina beat Duke on Saturday. So just for the sake of being not liking Carolina, I want Kansas to win. And now they're up 3 points. So for those who like college basketball, I'm giving you an update here.
And just the, you hate liars, so you hate yourself. Bro,
that was,
I swear,
that was weird.
A third grader would write something like that. A third grader.
Yeah. and I would be so upset if I would be so upset if, like Kevin Owens, like you went from Stone Cold Steve Austin, taking about a retirement for 19 years, put him in a match to this the next day.
And then, bro, Owens just walks away because they don't know how to end it.
Yes,
they don't
exactly.
have to, and then just walk out. They don't know how to end it. So and then just walk out. Count to 3 and then just walk out.
It's horrible. Just nothing. They got nothing. Like at the end of the segment, no stunner, no nothing. Just no. They couldn't even create a cliffhanger here. It was just a dead end. Next I have The Miz defeating Dominic Mysterio, continuing to make the Mysterios look like nothing. Veer makes his appearance here and attacks the Mysterios, who already lost. Dominic lost tonight and lost last night, and so you're coming in and beating someone who's basically at a job status, essentially an enhancement talent as of late. It was a very weak debut to me. Did you like this debut, Vince?
No, because why? I mean, why? You've got a whole roster full of people to attack. Why are you attacking Dominic? Oh, bro, because that's going to be the angle. You and Rey Mysterio. Oh, okay, I get it. Makes no free. Why? Why are you attacking Dominic? This is what I mean, Chris, about setting the table. Make something happen at least a month beforehand. Do something. But no, we're just going to come out and randomly attack Dominic for no reason. He does have, I got to say this about Veer Mahan, he does have wonderful hair. I mean, great. Yes. He's got he may have the best hair ever in the business.
Yes. Yes, he has. Yeah. He has amazing hair.
He does. He does.
I'm really impressed by his hair. So I'm impressed by your hair too, Vince.
That's not like Veer's, man. Terrible. Terrible, man. Look at that hair, man. Yeah.
That's a beautiful, great.
Yeah, people have to understand too. Please understand, guys, when I'm going over this, I'm not criticizing the talent. They don't write the show. I'm criticizing the way that these characters are being used. I'm not criticizing these people individually at all. I'm sure Veer Mahan is a heck of a guy, bro.
Yes. We don't know him, so we can only go by how WWE presents him. Yes. And I would hope that they would present him better than what they are now, so people won't criticize him. And that's the end of and that's period. Because if you're basically creating brands and you're trying to establish brands, create brands, and you're trying to push brands forward, and the way that they've been having people and the brands that they've been, the lack thereof, you should not be surprised that people are critiquing what you're presenting. With the people.
Of course not. Of course not.
We get Bianca Belair cutting an in-ring promo. Bianca's she's my favorite on the roster. I don't necessarily understand why she's doing this. I don't understand why it was just a simple promo. Let's show my eye. Let's show some vulnerability. How does that help her character? Like if she's coming from behind against a massive heel, maybe, but I don't pick that up that she's going to be coming from behind. So
you know, Chris, I got to tell you, there's something where I genuinely like this woman. Maybe it was the promo with the no makeup. I don't know what it was, but I love athletes. I love, the Naomis of the world. I love athletes. I love them, bro. But I swear to God, Chris, I got to say, I don't like anything about the presentation. Nothing. I don't. She's a heel. She's playing a heel character. She has every trait of a heel. And I want to love this character. I want to embrace this character. And it's almost like, bro, they're doing everything to make me not like this character. She's got this natural charisma, bro. And they're just putting this gimmick on her with the glasses. And, it's so gimmicky and it's so heelish, bro. I don't understand it, man.
Bianca is such a likable character,
is
like just a person, you know what I mean? Just she's an athlete. They shared her story when they did a documentary about her last year around Mania time. Just the past and the fact that a lot of people was talking about her the way that she looked, and like she was dealing with a lot of depression because of the way that she was looking, and she was like having some eating issues, and there was a lot of stuff that basically is on a platter that they could be using to really like hone in to take her character to the next level. But we get this hair twirling gimmick still.
Chris, I've said this all along. Vince McMahon's biggest problem is, bro, he does not watch television. He has no idea what's going on in the world. And, bro, if he would have watched a little movie by the name of King Richard, okay, and you would have seen, bro, the story of Venus and Serena Williams, Chris, they were such competitors that they just weren't going to lose. Like losing was unacceptable. If it meant, bro, hitting tennis balls at 2 a.m., they were not going to lose. They were just going to be better than everybody else and outwork. Why can't that be Bianca? She looks the part. I don't know why can't that, how driven she is, and she is just not going to lose. But they give us this very stereotypical gimmick, and they're doing everything to make her unlikable.
Yeah. I hope they really maximize on this. I'm about to hit up this super chat. By the way, Kansas just won. They were down 15 going into halftime, and they came back and won by 3.
Wow, big comeback.
How about that? The Jayhawks win the titles. I'm just happy that North Carolina lost, so I'm a happy man here. We got Purple Bond. We got the friend of the show, Purple Bond.
Saying, very nice, Purple. Thank you, my friend.
Yes. You liked night 2 better than night 1. Am I hearing it right? Wow, I liked Cody versus Seth better than New Day versus Holland and Sheamus. Well, I did too, but that was only one part of night 1 versus night 2. I like night 2 better, hands down, because the pace was faster. I'm just not a fan of long drawn out matches with no story behind it. If you're not telling a story in the match doesn't really culminate a really good story. Like for instance, Michaels and Flair, in Orlando, that was a culmination of a really good story. Ric Flair was saying he was basically saying, if I lose in my next match, I'm retired. And so he went against, I believe, Ken Anderson. I believe MVP was who he went to against as well. And Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, he said, "I'm sorry, I love you." There was a story behind the match. People want to see Ric Flair go. So it built a story within the match, and it came from a story that was already very established.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just giving me two people competing in a WrestleMania match with no story behind it, I'm just not interested. And it drags. It just drags to me. The pace is slow. You can just tell with the Dallas crowd. The Dallas crowd was just so flat in many times, in many cases. But there was always something in night two, for the most part. Like there was some flat moments, but for the most part, there was something about night two that wasn't as slow because the matches were shorter. And that's what we should have with pro wrestling, man. I'm just not a big fan of the pacing with a lot of these segments and matches. Even with Raw, it's just the pacing's just off. We get Braun Breaker defeating Dolph Ziggler. He's a new NXT champ. They put an NXT match on Raw, Vince. How about that?
Yeah, I guess the theory was they were going to get a lot of casual fans and new viewers tonight, so they might as well introduce them to NXT. That was probably the idea behind it. And in hindsight, that's not a bad idea. Would have been a much better idea if his Hall of Fame uncle and father were with him. Then casual fans would have known. That's Rick Stein but no, he's just going to be Braun Breaker. So I was thinking that either, bro.
I was thinking the exact same thing, Vince. I was like, it would have made so much sense if Rick and Scott would have came out and celebrated with him winning the NXT championship. But
I don't get it, bro. I don't understand, Chris. I don't. Everything you and I talk about, if I'm working there, I'm saying all these things. Like I'm saying all these things, and I wouldn't need an explanation as to why wouldn't you have these guys on the show. They were just at WrestleMania. They're in town. You paid for them to be in town. Like, somebody just needs to tell me why. I can't answer these questions, bro. I have no idea, man.
I agree with you 100%. And how would that wouldn't have prolonged the segment? Nothing. Again, if there's casual fans that you're catering to at the Raw after WrestleMania. That's the reason why it's one of the biggest hype crowds. I mean, you have that same crowd from all around the country, as opposed to other manias, you have local crowds. But the Raw after WrestleMania, you have national and even sometimes international crowds because the people stay longer, after WrestleMania. Right. So you have that audience, and you have the casual fan saying, "Okay, WrestleMania. Yeah, I really don't pay attention to the product for the whole year, but I do watch WrestleMania because I grew up watching WrestleMania." Raw after WrestleMania, cater to them. You don't even do that much.
And Chris, this is the first time in as long as I can remember. Don't they usually bring out the Hall of Famers to the stage to wave?
They usually do that during WrestleMania. I don't remember them doing that.
I could have sworn they've done that on Raws the night after. I could have sworn, but maybe I'm wrong. But I could have sworn I remember them doing that. But it would have added so much to it, bro. Casual fans, now they put the pieces together if you want them to know who NXT, but I don't know why they don't do that, bro. I don't know.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense. And Undertaker, did he get a vignette this Hall of Fame vignette? Did he get any type of notoriety that I do anything?
I don't even remember.
Yeah. Wow. Manny said they've done the Hall of Fame members before. Okay.
Yeah.
Purple back in the building. Chris, I get it, bro, but you're a man of faith and you understand what I'm about to say. Cody equals prodigal son returned to WWE after wanting to destroy the company, but came back a better talent. That's a great story, guys. And again, I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that the Cody pop was one of the best parts of night one, but it was 4 hours apiece. That was one segment in 4 hours. So that doesn't make a whole good night.
But hold on, all due respect with Purple Bond, okay? Where is that story? The Purple Bond, I know exactly what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. You think that's the story being presented? I don't think
that. Corey Graves called him the prodigal son.
Okay, but whatever you could call him whatever you want to call him. Do you really think that was the story that was told? I didn't see that story tonight. I mean, what Purple Bond is saying is correct. That kind of is the story. You can very easily go down that road. But that's not the story I saw presented tonight, Chris, unless I missed something.
I know that unless we missed something, because I didn't see it either. I saw Cody basically saying, I'm going to basically do what my dad couldn't do. He didn't say anything about greener pastures and going to another company. He didn't even cover that at all. No, his angle was his dad. MSG 1977. He's holding up a title that had to be taken away from him, and I'm going to. I saw that, and I vowed to actually win the title and hand it to him. Yeah, I can't hand it to him physically now, but I'll still be able to hand it to him figuratively.
That was the story. There was nothing about a prodigal son coming home. I mean, that was the story.
Yeah, that's. It wasn't a prodigal son story. And again, you know, if Purple's trying to convince me that night one was better than night two, I'm not convinced, because that was just one segment in a 4 hour, WrestleMania. You know what I mean? And it just that's not gonna convince me that night one was better. And then the pot was buried because the match was so long and there were so many dead spots in the match. And so I think the booking of that was bad. The match wasn't terrible again. It got Cody over, like you had, point to Tony Khan there. But at the same time, it just, you got to maximize moments. You just have to. And just bearing the pop. The segment was based on Cody's return. It wasn't based on the match. The match could have been 2 minutes long, and that wouldn't have taken away the moment of Cody returning and getting a pop. Having it 20, 25 minutes, he just felt like, I was saying this to some friends. I said, now he feels like just another wrestler on the WWE roster. After all this, 20, 25 minutes, they're burying the pop, and now he doesn't feel like, man, he returned. Now he just feels like another person on the roster. So can't just bury the pop like that.
Chris, that's the thing. You hit the nail on the head. And again, bro, I just hate to sound like a broken record, but I'm telling you guys, this is in the writing. Chris, you don't want Cody Rhodes' biggest pop to be returning at WrestleMania, and then from that point on, Chris, it's this.
Yep,
that's exactly what you don't want that, bro. And what I'm kind of feeling that already. Like, I'm kind of feeling it already.
I agree.
And that's what, as a writer, you can't allow that to happen, bro. That WrestleMania introduction should be here, and it should go this way.
Yep.
They don't do that, bro.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. The pop was here, and then the 25-minute match, like, okay, we're still excited, but it went down a bit.
Yes.
The promo was cool, but it still doesn't top the pop. It was cool, and then Seth coming down with the handshake. Okay, I just, going from a top-down approach doesn't help your character, build your character. It deconstructs and not, instead of constructs. So, Next we have MVP introducing Bobby Lashley. Lashley cut a promo coming out. Babyface Omos comes out, and Lashley gets blindsided by MVP. The angle is you didn't need me. He didn't come out with MVP yesterday, so that turned MVP to a heel with Omos. Now, I'm not opposed to MVP being away from Lashley if they're doing the heel, full Lashley face turn. Him with MVP as a babyface doesn't make any sense to me. I'm also not opposed to MVP being a mouthpiece for Omos. He needs a mouthpiece for sure. But what I am opposed to is that I'm just not into Omos. He doesn't click for me, man.
Chris, there's a couple things here. Like, I've lost count of Bobby Lashley, babyface heel, babyface heel, babyface. Bro, we've said this with every talent on this show. We've said it with every freaking babyface heel, babyface. Okay, now he's a babyface again. But bro, I've said this a million times. Bro, listen. You can bring Jesus out with Omos. He ain't gonna get over, bro. I'm just, bro. He's too big. He's too big, bro. They're never going to make this guy smooth.
Of course, Omos wouldn't get over if he had Jesus, because Jesus would be over more than Omos.
Jesus would be way over more than Omos, bro. He's not fluid. He's not going to. This guy's never going to get over. You could put Lashley with him. He's too big and awkward, and he's clumsy. It's not going to work, bro. I give him an A for trying. Like, okay, man, put MVP with him. That's great, but he's not, bro. I go back to Manute Bol in the NBA. Manute Bol was like 7'7", bro.
7'7", yeah.
The guy should have been scoring 80 points a game. Didn't cut it, bro. He was big. He was awkward. It didn't work. Sometimes it just doesn't work, man. That's just my opinion, bro.
If you were back there writing and they said, okay, we've got to do this. We've got to give you this Omos guy to work with. We're not going to let him go. We see some potential in him. What would you do with them?
You got to do, bro, exactly. And at the bottom line is they probably didn't give it enough time for whatever reason. You got to do exactly Shawn Michaels and Diesel. That's exactly what you got to do. Take one of the best workers, marry him to that worker. And they did that with AJ. They did it with AJ, but then for whatever reason, bro, and we'll never know, they just pull the plug on it. Bro, if AJ would have been with Omos for like 2 years, on the road together, I mean, who knows? I don't know why they pull the plug on that, bro. They needed more time because, now, even though he's with MVP, unless MVP is going to really start actively wrestling again, but you had AJ in that spot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It does seem like MVP is going to get wrestling again. And to be honest with you, I'd rather it makes sense storyline wise if MVP would be the wrestler and then Omos as the big man, the muscle basically. I think that's where you put him. I just don't see him as the guy being like the competitor. It just doesn't click with me, man. Queen Zelina and Carmella come out for the match. The two argue and fight. And so Zelina walks over to Carmella, who's by this time, basically in Corey's arms. Corey sits her on
before we even get to that, Chris, we got to really look at how every single one of these feuds are developing. This is developing by Selena Vega saying, "Oh, your husband's fine looking." Well, you just kind of paid me a compliment.
Yes.
So why am I attacking you? The answer should have been, yeah, you're damn right he's fine looking and you're never going to get a piece of that. I mean, she just complimented your husband. Why are you fighting her, bro? She just said your husband was hot. That was the angle. I mean, her saying that caused this fight. It's like, Chris, if your wife did a run-in right now and she left and I said, man, Chris, you got a very attractive wife.
Thank you.
Are you going to want to fight me? Like I'm giving you a compliment.
Yeah. I would say thank you.
It's so, bro, it's so weak. Everything is so weak. And I'm going to show you exactly in a couple of segments of how just time has passed them by and they are so far behind the times and it's coming back to bite them in the rear round. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. So basically this segment ends with Carmella and Corey Graves just basically like doing tongue shoveled tongue searching for gold mines, doing tugging each other so much.
Chris, I got to ask you a question. I know I'm old. I'm 61. But I was watching this and I was like, bro, this is disgusting. Like that is absolute. What did you have the same emotion I did, or am I just?
I was like,
yeah. I mean, I was like, yeah. I was like,
I don't desire like I don't get anything as a married woman to a hot wife. I don't get anything from watching Corey Graves and Carmella basically slobbering on each other. I don't get anything from that.
I mean, I was the same way, and it makes him prior to the slobbering. He was such a wimp. Like, no, baby, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Oh, he was so wimpy in that scene, bro. I'm like, come on, man.
There's a part of me that thinks that they're going to do some type of mixed tag sooner than later because he's cleared to wrestle again.
Can't wait, bro. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait, bro.
But the thing is, who did they do a mixed tag with though?
Miz, Maurice.
But they're both heels. They're both.
They're gonna bring. Is Beth Phoenix gonna come back now as a heel? I mean, is she part of this?
But who's the baby face though? You would need a baby face.
Montez and
Bianca. Okay, there you go. Montez and Bianca. Okay. The dude's Carmella trying to go for the title again. Which I wouldn't be surprised if they did that actually because of the whole show that they have. So I think they want to milk that. They probably would have Carmella go for the title, and then they probably would have Carmella wouldn't win, but they would kind of perhaps continue it. And then I would give Montez a kind of singles male, type of push by himself. Although I don't think they're going to do Angelo like that and take him to the slaughter.
Have you seen this show at all?
No, I've not.
Oh, bro, it's so.
Neither do I desire to.
Oh,
is it bad?
I love watching shows that are just so bad. This is just like Roads to the Top. It's just so freaking bad, bro. I swear to God, when shows are bad, bro, when like they're trying too hard. What I mean? They're just trying so hard to make something out of nothing, and it's like, oh my God, bro.
Yeah. We get Austin Theory and the Usos defeating Finn Balor and RK Bro. Another loss by Finn Balor, Vince. It's clear that they just have nothing,
bro. Yeah. Why is this title on him then? Why
I don't
is
get
the
it.
belt on a guy you've beaten, bro? I think they've beaten him 4 straight weeks.
He loses every single week, man. Just about. I said this before. And I'm sticking to it, even especially after this week. They're ribbing him. They probably gave him a promise to re-sign a contract because they know that he's going to be a hot commodity in New Japan or AEW, and they said, he's good enough for us to keep, so he won't, perhaps make some impact in AEW or go back to New Japan, since he is the founder of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
And so I think we'll keep him. Okay, Finn, we're going to give you the title. We're going to give you that spot. We're going to give the U.S. title. He signs it. They give him the title, and they're like, they get the whole, see, now we're going to rib him because we're going to show that he's not bigger than the business. He's not bigger than the WWE.
Yep.
So that's the feel that I get from him.
I've seen it a million times, bro. A million times.
I that's exactly what I get from Finn, and I just don't see them. I can see this be the rest of his contract. Really, I don't see him doing anything else. So Edge comes out and introduces Damian Priest. AJ comes out, and during the two talking, he attacks both of them, but the heels get the
Chris. This is what I wanted to talk about, because this is a perfect example with how just archaic, behind the times, stuck in the 70s, whatever you want to call it, the WWE is. Bro, you got a huge star, Edge, in the ring. Yep. But Edge's promo is so heel 70s wrestling with, look at all these sheep.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. So now there's no heat. They're laughing with it because now they're chanting, "We are sheep."
Yeah.
So, bro, they're literally making fun of you for what you're saying, bro. Then it gets worse, where he calls them losers. And what do they start chanting? We're not losers. They're making fun of this pro. How does this not wake them up to make them understand, bro? This is so stupid and so elementary. And the crowd, literally on your own show, they're making fun of you, bro, because this is so stupid. Yeah. You've got to write, bro, some type of intellectual, dialogue. I mean, something, bro. When you start talking about sheep and losers and you've got your own crowd making fun of you, that's embarrassing to me, bro.
Because it's classic cheap heat.
Yes.
That just doesn't have that big of an impact anymore. Especially it feels contrived if you're trying to get heat by just automatically getting cheap heat. Your character has to be established enough for that. Like MJF gets cheap heat all the time. Bockwinkel got cheap heat, but his character was so cavalier and I'm better than you, and like he was arrogant. You know what I mean? They loved to hate Bockwinkel. They love to hate MJF. And so the cheap heat is it's just basically adds to a character that you already hate. Just grabbing cheap, it just feels fake. I mean, it just feels.
And then, bro, at some point, keep in mind, guys, this is Edge. This is not Ezekiel. This is Edge. Bro, at some point, they were cheering, "We don't care."
Yeah, when Damian was cutting.
Yeah, we don't care. Like, hello? Do you not hear them? Are you not listening to them, bro? They're telling you they're not doing it because he's a heel. They're literally telling you we don't care. We don't care. Like, what else do you want, bro?
Yeah. And I mean, talk about focus groups. The Raw after WrestleMania crowd is, I mean, that's what you use to gauge the year. That's
absolutely, for sure. Chris, that is a great point. Absolutely it is, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Street Profits defeat the Alpha Academy. Gets pop. I mean, I like Street Profits. I'm glad the fact that they aren't doing this weird, like, we're going to turn heel. It seems like they were like straight baby faces this week, and Montez got his spot in. So I'm cool with it. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I just feel like I've seen the match a million times. Like
The match,
I just feel like I've seen that match just so many times, bro.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the spot on the table was pretty cool for Montez, though. It was pretty nice. So Roman Reigns cuts a promo at the end.
Before we get to that, did you miss the new feature? Like this is what cracks me up. There was a new feature before Roman Reigns, bro, where they actually, and I'm like, oh, this is good. This is smart. This is good. They actually promoted what's next week. Okay, bro. And they promoted Veer Mahan and the rematch with the girls. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, why am I tuning in next week based on what you just like? Can you not give me one huge thing for next week, or, you know, a face-to-face between Reigns and Cody Rhodes, like something? But what they promoted for next week, bro, was like, who cares, bro?
Again, Raw after WrestleMania, from an audience standpoint, some casuals are coming back because it's WrestleMania and they know about WrestleMania. So they know about Raw. They're going to watch Raw. And after watching Raw, they're going to go away. I mean, it happens every year, Vince. They have the highest numbers of the Raw after WrestleMania. They drop.
Chris and I will play, you know, I'm a lot older than you guys. We'll be the amazing Kreskin right now. They're going to do a huge number tomorrow. They're going to do, even against the NCAA finals, they're going to do a better than average number. Wait till next week.
Yeah,
we're going to be right. They do this every single year. That is telling you, bro, they've got an audience and they can't keep that audience. And
correct.
Chris, like we said at the beginning, all you had to do was bring Cody out at the end, and you would have increased your chances at least 50% of people tuning in next week to see what's going to happen with this.
Yeah. But instead we get another Reigns flag. I mean, we get another Reigns promo that's basically saying the same thing.
Same thing. Heyman saying the same thing, giving us all the thing.
Yeah.
I can't. Chris, I can't believe they end. I kept sitting here saying, no way you're going to end the show on there. I couldn't believe what I was watching, bro.
I was like, wait a minute. I was looking at the clock. I was like, it's 11 o'clock. So they're wrapping it up. And then when the credits came, I said, this is the Raw after WrestleMania. This is how you close the biggest Raw of the year right here. Like, the two biggest Raws of the year are the go home before WrestleMania and the Raw after WrestleMania. The go home was bad. It wasn't even good. It didn't give people hyped. And the Raw after WrestleMania, it's a reset, and it gets people excited about the next year going into next WrestleMania. It's a good launch to retain at least a little bit of fans for the next year. But they're going to drop again like they do every year.
And Chris, on the other side of that coin, I can tell you from experience, bro, we used to love writing this show. We love, because this was brand new now. Well, you know, we used to really love writing this show, but man, it just
feels like another show, Vince. I mean, it feels like I could have plugged this show in at the early June edition of, Raw. It just doesn't feel like the Raw reference.
So, bro, let me ask you a question. Is Brock supposed to go away now for a little while?
Yeah, he's going to go away for a second. I mean, he had a longer run, but he's typically, I'll come in for a pocket of time and leave.
So basically now, more or less, Cody more or less replaces Brock.
Yeah,
more or less, right?
Yep. Yeah, he's the new baby face. And I've said this before. I would have been more excited if there were more bigger names in the Andre Battle Royal because it doesn't even mean anything anymore. It's just a trophy. I mean, Madcap Moss won the Andre Battle Royal. I think it should have been bigger names. I think you have that surprise entrant element, just like the Royal Rumble. You could have done an Andre Battle Royal at WrestleMania. Cody comes in, wins it, and the winner gets an opportunity to face the champion, Raw or SmackDown. And I think that's you start the first SmackDown of the year already promoted based on Cody winning the Andre Battle Royal, Cody versus Reigns. I mean, I would have been much more interested in that.
Were there any surprises at all in that match or no?
At the Andre?
Yeah.
No, it was on SmackDown. It was like
it
It was like C-level talent, for the most part. And Finn was in there. Jinder, Priest. Madcap Moss ended up winning the whole thing. I think the Viking Raiders were in there. Just Shelton Benjamin, I think he was in there. Cedric Alexander. It was just like C-level talent of what they're not their particular talent, but how WWE's booking them. C-level talent that was in there for the most part. It just didn't have anything. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, who's not a C-level talent? The former WCW World Heavyweight Champion is by no means a C-level talent. Let them know about Channel Attitude, brother.
Guys, probably tomorrow. We're doing some last minute stuff, but the brand new site for channelattitude.com should be up tomorrow. And I think it's going to blow your socks off, bro. There's going to be previews for all the shows that we do. We've been building this site for 8 months, bro. Literally, we started in August. And tomorrow, if everything goes according to plan, we should be live. So, guys, please check it out. Channelattitude.com.
Very nice. Very nice. Follow me at Chris Prolific and subscribe to the Pancakes and Power Slam show. I want to thank Vince, man. Fun 10-year anniversary was last week. I had such a fun time, man. It was really cool, man. McIntyre,
Bro, did you go back and watch that video? Did you go back and watch the video with his mom?
Oh no! You know what? I'm gonna do that
go
as soon as we get off.
You gotta go.
Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding me.
It is absolutely.
I'm gonna do it, and so that was fun. Bringing him on. He messaged me afterwards, man. It was pretty cool. And then you and Magnum today. Magnum TA together for a while. And then you, and then my wife did a run in.
Oh, nice.
So and she handed me a cake that had the
very
logo.
nice, very
it
nice.
It was really nice. Yeah,
I would tell you, Chris, that you got God bless you. You got a very attractive wife, but I'm afraid you'd beat me up, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. I will. You have a very attractive. Oh, hold on. Let me Ladies and gentlemen, he is Vince Russo. I'm Dr. Chris, and you have been exciting and enjoying another episode of Legion of Raw. We're going to get out of here, but hey, enjoy wrestling as much as you can. Yeah, and I'm super happy. You know why? Because North Carolina lost.
There you go.
So that was better than Raw. So long, everybody. Have a good night.